ahead and be true that we're ready. So here goes. We're cranking it up. Boom, boom, boom. Test, test. Okay, we're good. Here we go. We'll start it in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome to, or back to, There Will Be Dungeons, TWBD, for Saturday, March 6th, 2021. We are here to carry on the grand tradition of playing D&D with you and with each other, and today is no different. A reminder that we are brought to you in part by phoenixpearltea.com/TWBD. I'm told there's a brand new Nash flavor that will soon be in the store. I had a long conversation with Gwen the other day, and boy, howdy, does it look good. So if you want a nice hot tea to get you through your episode or whatever you may be doing, go check them out. The prices are good, and the teas are amazing. That's phoenixpearltea.com/TWBD. All right, without further ado, I have a unique way of dealing with today's What Happened Last Week on There Will Be Dungeons, because Kyle has sent it, and no, this isn't really his current voice, so don't look for his lips to match the text, okay? I'm just going to play it. Enjoy.
Previously on There Will Be Dungeons, we have a bit of an Underdark infestation going on. We seem to be overrun with bread, and the baker might be on his way.
This is how you want to do it.
We think it perhaps just hang out in well comes out when it feels like it. No other kind, nothing else comes out of well. We tell people to drink from well. Everything is fine.
We need to confirm that that well isn't infested. Did you go down into the well to inspect that it was safe, that there were no holes?
You know, we don't feel great about not going down in the well. Maybe we're a little fuzzy on whether you wanted us to go down the well or not.
Who's watching the well while you're not there?
The brigand patrol.
Oh, they just left? Who was watching it while you're... Oh, dear.
All right, I love that. I freaking love that.
Yes.
That is so good.
Great.
That seemed like a bunch of work. So, Kyle, I hope it wasn't so bad, because I want to never have anything happen again except that. It's amazing. Anyway.
No, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad at all.
Good, because it was awesome. Anyway, now over to you. Now we know what happened. What are we doing next?
So you all have headed out the door of the Dungeon Guild. We currently have a voucher in Grinkeeper's hands for cleaned and prestidigitation, as she is currently covered in a bluish-purple blood. Beyond that, you have agreed to go back to the well. The Brigand Patrol left ahead of you, and they are going to secure the area. So, while we have our heading, you, of course, are free to move about the city however you choose. It's about 1 in the afternoon. So we spent our morning dealing with the immediate monsters outside the Well Plaza on the southwest side of town.
I think we should head right there immediately. Let's get it done.
I have potato for road. We can go.
Let's do it.
You head down the streets of Atamur, and being the middle of the day, it is quite busy, bustling. You head towards the center of town, this main meeting of the roads, but as you go, you pass by the Temple of Palor, which has one of the wells outside of it, and a crowd is gathered. You can see over the tops of their heads some hovering signage that is slowly rotating around the area, saying, "Caution, guild business." As it floats by, another sign passes, "Caution, guild business." And you can see in there 3 individuals all working around the well. There is a flame-headed lady. Her hair is of fire, and she's got blue skin. She is talking to the crowd through a megaphone, and she has an imp on her shoulder. So you're going, "Everyone, please, this is routine maintenance. Routine maintenance for the well. Please stand back, stand back." Behind her, you can see a rather tall human fellow hanging out with his boar companion. It's a black boar, has a little sort of mohawk of gray down its back. He is currently unscrewing and eventually lifts the top of the well off with some effort, the sort of wooden cover that stops debris from falling down, and with it comes the rope and the bucket. As you continue to pass by the well, you see Dharma Edgestream, this would be the halfling in the oversized wizard robes, jump up on the edge of the well and go, all right, 1, 2, 3. And she raises up her hands. A fireball begins to summon inside them, and she shoots it down the well. There's a as it flies, and then boom, as fire rockets up out of the well. And she screams, it's clean, as it goes.
It's clean, she says?
It's clean, she yells, as fire rockets out of the well hole. Do you stop or continue onward?
Grinkeeper's gonna keep going, but she's gonna look back at Splendorbelt and Co. with her eyes real big, going, kinda, we were supposed to do that?
I don't know. I don't think that is necessarily the most effective way of clearing the well.
Yeah, something fishy.
You continue onward. You make your way to the center, this main intersection, the four corners of Atimer. And across the street, you can see the governor's mansion, the estate beyond that houses where Splendorbelt conducted the wedding. And suddenly, Grinkeeper, you're very aware of many eyes upon you. In fact, you've been walking through the town covered in that blue-purple blood, and everyone begins whispering and pointing a little bit. The buzz of the activities around town seem to be reaching the rumor mill.
Grinkeeper will keep going, but she'll think fast and go, it's grape juice. We had a lunch accident. Trying to emulate the caution stuff going on at the place they just walked by.
Well, hit me with a deception.
$13.
Must be some grapes. They all whisper to themselves, get back to their business. I mean, guild representatives being messy in town, that's not a secret. That sort of stuff happens all the time. You turn left at the intersection and head towards the previous plaza there in that southwest area neighborhood. You make your way over the grassy knolls, past the trees, eventually ending up in that same enclosure area where there is the blacksmith shop of which you killed the rust monster inside, the melted barrel still being cleaned in the corner and kind of swept haphazardly and cautiously to the side, trying to get that gunk out of here. As you arrive, you can see 3 guild individuals with their bronze badges. One, the rogue that you recognize from the meeting, is bending down and petting the dog Bruno, as you met him last time. He seems to be having a rather joyous conversation with the family of the house beyond and that little boy that Ko was talking to. There is a elf, a wood elf, tall, heavily tanned, wearing a sort of leaf-patterned tunic, talking to the old man who is back in his chair, resting on his cane, his hands resting on his cane, sitting beneath the tree. And then, as you enter the plaza, a tabaxi, a cat man, walks around from the back corner, and he is wringing his hands together a little bit, and he seems to gesture, and the other 2 of the brigand patrol bronze group head over to speak with him. And this is where you find yourself. Back in the plaza. You are in control of your characters. There on the map.
I think we just go straight for the well.
Yeah, I don't see any detours that I would want to take.
This is our task. Just gonna walk up and own it.
All right, you guys approach the well. How are you gonna go about it?
Oh, man. What did we do last time?
Well, you threw a rock down the well and declared all is well.
Yeah. It's just clearly not enough. I mean, Splendorbelt would just say, okay, last time rock was not good enough, what do we throw down?
Ko, do you have that rope sash thing?
Oh, yes. And I will command the Sultan Sash of Climbing to tie itself on the side of the well. Does it have like those posts up the side that it could like knot around, holding up the little roof?
Exactly. You get these 2 wooden posts that go up to the metal rod. That would be where you would crank the well up and down. And then, of course, the small wooden roof above it.
All right, yeah, I'll command the rope to tie to one end and drop the rest of the rope down in. And I'll start climbing down.
Excellent. You jump on into the well, holding onto the rope, of course. Do you command it to knot and all that sort of thing?
Yeah, let's give some easy handholds here and there. Not a ton, but just make it a little easier climb.
Cool. Just for, the sake of mistake, let's get that athletics roll from you, but it will be with advantage, of course.
Sweet. All right, not a bad start. 14.
Cool. You begin descending down into the well. The edges of the well are all done in this sort of limestone brick. It has been mortared. It's pretty old, but not terribly crumbly at the moment as you make your way down. Of course, there's the smell of water in here. It's a little bit slimy, but not so much to a degree that you would be concerned about the health of the well.
And as I get deeper, I would do a quick pause and pull out the drift globe and have it cast light and illuminate the place a little bit.
Cool. So you grab forth your drift globe. It hovers alongside you. Do you put it above or below?
Above.
Okay. Sheds
Just
plenty
kinda...
of light for you to see the area.
Yeah.
As Ko descends, the Tabaxi Catman makes his way over to you all. You are the other adventurers, yes?
No talk, only business. Grinkeeper starts descending.
Ah, yes. Well,
A hand pops up from the well, waving at him.
we will secure the area then. Right now. Okay. Turns and leaves.
Aw,
That's a shame.
poor Tabaxi.
Interesting side quest we've now avoided.
What race was the rogue guy?
The rogue was a human,
Human.
covered in his leather and belts, twisting his knives around. From what you saw of him moving about, he seemed very comfortable in this area. Code continues to descend. And as you reach the bottom of your 50-foot rope, correct?
How big is it? 60 foot.
60 foot. Perfect. So you reach the bottom of your 60-foot rope, and you can see, just obvious as day, that there have been bricks tumbled out of the side. Some of them still sort of hinging on the side like Jenga blocks, but many must have fallen into the water below. And there is a cavernous hole here in the side of the well, about 5 feet wide. The well goes down for some amount. Your light doesn't reach quite the bottom, but that's pretty common that wells go anywhere from 100 to even 300 feet. With the groundwater here, you would assume it's only about maybe 60 additional feet down until you'd hit the water.
Okay, but I can reach the opening to this hole.
Yes, rather calmly and without any sort of additional rolls. You can get to the bottom. You have those knots. Plant a foot, feet on the knots, kind of grab yourself over and swing yourself in without any theatrics.
All right, I'd get myself over there and just call up. There is a hole. I found it. We should probably investigate.
Oh, cool! I've got the concrete. Great.
Okay, sounds good. Good.
Ko heads into the hole inside the well. The two of you are up top. How are we going to get down, and how are we going to get down with a big bag of concrete?
Grinkeeper would have it on her shoulders, and then she'd shimmy down the rope.
Okay. Balanced on your shoulders, or are you gonna attempt to climb with one hand?
Balanced on the shoulders.
Okay. Let's get the athletics first, and that'll be with advantage from the rope.
$21.
Cool. Hit me with an acrobatics.
Advantage or no?
No advantage on this. This is merely
5.
your balancing prowess.
5.
Splendor Belt,
Yeah.
the bag of concrete is slipping off Grinkeeper's shoulders.
I would rush to help to steady it.
Give me an athletics of your own.
Okay. That's an 18.
Cool. You manage to grab the bag in such a way with multiple angles that it doesn't rip, and your brain thinks about the ramifications of a bag of concrete pouring into an open well with water in the bottom.
Ugh.
Oh, we sealed up that well problem real well.
Nothing's coming out.
Grinkeeper, you're currently on the rope. Splendor Belt has the bag above you.
Thanks!
You're looking up at my bag. That's a horrible thing to have to deal with. Staring at Splinter Belt's bag. Oh, you mean the bag of concrete? Oh,
Yes.
got it. Okay. All right. How do we get this down? This is bad.
Oh, you're right. It would be bad. Can we cradle it in my arms? And then she'll lean back from the rope, creating a little distance between her arms and the rope.
Okay, like
Her
you're making
body and the rope.
a little seat.
Yeah.
Okay, let's load it up then, and we'll do another athletics.
24.
Cool. Splendor Belt lowers down the bag, holding onto the two corners on either side, and it rests right there in the seat of your arms. And you begin to climb down rather successfully. A very big display of muscle and power that no one gets to see because you're inside of a well.
Damn it.
It's too bad. It's really too bad.
The human rogue heads over now. Splendor Belt, you're the only one still above ground. Hiya! Y'all need some help, huh?
Yes, we could use help. If you are you friend or foe?
And he taps the badge on his chest, the bronze badge.
Okay,
Did
yes,
you want-
we need help then.
I'm Dominic Reese. This is the Brigand Patrol. Listen, we're happy to watch the top side for y'all while you're down there and check the rest of the building here, but you want me to hold a rope or something?
I mean, I'll look at you know what? I would trust him. I'd say, yes, we could use, if you could hold the rope and do not let go.
Happy to help. Happy to help. Darkest Delvers, right? All right. This is Hiroshi. Hey, get on here with this Baxi starts heading over, and Yolana. We got a rogue, monk, and druid in our party here. It's nice to meet y'all. Let me help you. This is my neighborhood, so it's good to be back.
All right.
He heads over to the rope and realizing it's a long purple sash, kind of, all right. And they all sort of grab a bit of it together and hold it where it's fastened to make sure If it were to come unfastened, it at least wouldn't fall.
Right.
It's your turn to head down the well.
All right, I'll do that. And I've still got it in my arms, right? I'm carrying this stuff.
The bag was passed on to Grinkeeper there, who is currently performing her feat of strength in her climb.
Right, okay. I don't have it.
So we would just need you to make a athletics check with advantage.
Me or her?
Splendorbelt.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Athletics with advantage. First roll. Natural 20 plus 2, 22.
Cool.
Yeah. Second roll is lower than that. Is an 8.
Well, you might as well go for bigger than natural 20, you know?
Yeah. Just in case.
Yeah.
With confidence stemming from the group above you holding the rope, watching you go down, you perform the deed with ease and begin descending down the well. Greenkeeper, you reach the bottom without problem, but we do need to get that bag over to Ko.
I need some help. Ko, is there? Could you help, please?
Sure. Reach over and how long of a reach is it? Is she gonna have to toss it?
I mean, we're only in a well that's about 5 feet wide, so you can pretty easily sort of put one arm up on what's left of the wall, though it may, have crumbled and might be not the sturdiest thing in the world, and reach out to help with the bag and kind of pull her over.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Cool. The two of you together make an athletics check.
A 15 for me.
23.
Together, you manage to move the bag over. It's sort of, as Ko grabs it, strength buckles, not exactly his strong suit, and it sort of slides down your body and sort of swings into the hole rather than is lifted easily. But ultimately, the two of you reach the hole without problem. And Splendorbelt comes down just expertly. Apparently, he's amazing at climbing ropes. You didn't know this yet. And delivers himself promptly into the hole as well.
That's some fancy rope work. Where did you learn to climb?
This nice sash you have is easy to grab and to lower yourself down on it. And we have friends holding it up top to keep steady. Although I don't know them very well, so hopefully they don't screw us.
Okay, that sounds good. Let's proceed. I don't think we need them.
Are you going to take your sash back? You going to yank it down? What are you going to do? Or leave it up?
Let's leave it up in case we need to make a quick getaway.
I love it.
You can always come back for it. Know where it is.
You hear an echo from up above. It's the Tabaxi who speaks. They say they don't need us? They say they leave the rope. Okay. Let us about our business then.
Okay. This is gonna go great. Let's keep going.
We're making friends.
Looking about the drift globe lighting the area, you find yourself in a very wet cave. There are lots of drips and drops. There are small puddles on the ground. And a passage lays before you, sort of winding into the stone. None of it appears to have been ever worked, but immediately with your passive perceptions, you can see how those bricks and Jenga piece-like intersections were pushed outwards into the well area. Clearly it was broken from the inside where you're standing now, and then those various creatures must have climbed through and up.
I mean, if we wanted to, we could certainly seal it up, call it a day, but it might be worth investigating just to see what we can find.
Yeah, and if they opened it once, there's a good chance they could open it again.
All right,
Would you
so we're
like
going to proceed.
Take the lead.
I will go. And Greenkeeper takes off.
We have our normal march order of Grinkeeper, and then is it Splendorbelt or Ko's the rogue? Where's the other two?
Usually Splendorbelt's right behind her and
Okay.
Ko in the last, but I mean, it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, I'll take up the rear.
And you begin walking into this very wet and cold cave area.
This
And
is
it
that-
winds rather dramatically, always sort of maintaining a width of about 3 feet and a height of about 5 feet, but that ebb and flows. And particularly Splendorbelt has to walk for quite a bit of it with his head down and his shoulders. There's even a part where you come across where it goes to about 3 feet wide and 3 feet high. And you have to get down on all fours and start crawling through. Does anyone have an issue with that as their character?
I mean, mine doesn't like to get gross and dirty potentially, but the job is the job. So yeah, I wouldn't fight it.
So your problem would more be with the having to go through the wet ground and not so much the tight space.
Yeah, tight space is fine. I'm not feeling like I'm not claustrophobic or anything.
Cool. Anybody else?
Here's where the role play comes into play. Ko, not bothered by it. John
Cool.
would be very bothered by it.
These are important distinctions to make. For our characters are heroic in their own ways.
Yep.
And as you emerge from this 20-foot area where you had to crawl, you find yourself covered in mud. The bag of concrete, the burnt limestone mixture had to be dragged through there and is pretty muddy. But as you emerge upward, you enter into a small cavernous area, about 10 feet long, 20 feet wide. You can see the tunnel continuing on the other side. And as the drift globe comes up out of the hole with Ko leading the back, you see all these tiny, about 6 foot long beetles crawling on the walls. And in fact, there seems to be a thin line of some shimmering material. Some sort of mineable, perhaps. A metal in the walls.
I'm sorry, did you say 6-foot beetles or 6-inch beetles?
6-inch beetles. Did I say 6 foot?
I think you said foot, and it freaked me out.
I may have, and that would be wrong.
Okay, inch. I can deal with inch.
Big beetles.
That's still
There's
big.
Yeah, they're pretty big. And as the light sort of illuminates the area, you see that they are all very much miniature versions of the previous rust monster you fought inside the blacksmith there. They're all along this mineral line, and you can hear them kind of crunching and licking and just in general feasting on that mineral line.
Oh, Grinkeeper's gonna. And then she's gonna take her hammer and just start smashing away. Be at peace. Oh,
Be at peace.
Without any sort of roll necessary, as they are quite occupied on their meal, Grinkeeper brings down a vicious warhammer, or brings up, as it were, into the ceiling a vicious warhammer and smashes it. The guts and various juices of the inside run down the hammer, but as it is a magical hammer, it is unaffected, and they begin to skitter about, afraid of the thing that splatted them. Do you continue your work, Grinkeeper?
yes.
Grinkeeper systematically hunts down and destroys the various baby rust monsters.
When she comes back, she looks very disturbed. This was very disgusting.
I'm glad you decided to do it.
We have to purge this.
It's not my thing. I do not mind caves. I do not mind dark. I do not like bugs.
Me
You
either.
continue onward. Down through these tunnels. You walk for another good 10 minutes before you see anything of note. And the next thing you find is in the darkness up above about 20 feet, there appears to be some sort of leathery sack hanging off the wall. 20 feet below that, on the other side of this small cavern, the tunnel continues. But this, on the edge of the light, writhing, weird leather pouch about 2 feet wide, gestates jiggles about.
I could try and knock it down. Oh, gross. And Grinkeeper's gonna start getting out a javelin.
Ko would be ready to fight. Most things in the Underdark aren't great. Leathery sacks don't sound great.
Yeah, I'd pull my 2 maces out and hold them, one in each hand, ready for whatever.
All right, Grinkeeper, which javelin is this?
Just a regular javelin.
All right, the regular old javelin. Let it rip. Give me a ranged attack.
16.
Okay. You throw the javelin up, and it sticks into the sack, and sort of with its weight lingers down and begins ripping it. And you hear this great juicy kind of as it heads down.
Ugh.
And as the sack opens up, Sturges fly out and about and begin swarming around you all.
Sturges.
Scene quickly cuts, and we find you surrounded by dead Sturges.
Oh. Oh!
Does a 14 beat anyone's AC?
It meets mine.
Does not beat mine.
Cool. Ko, you took 5 points of damage during the engagement, but overall you all managed to slay the some 8 Sturges that came flying out. Ko was the only one that had any blood loss, as it were.
That was gross.
It
That was really gross.
It's about what I expected. Ugh.
We continue on. And we walk for another good 10 minutes before we find anything of note. We will now be on our new map. Map number 2 for the day. I'll repost it here for y'all.
Here we go.
As you make your way down the tunnel, these wet piles of mud are all gathered about, and you can see here that you've reached an even more underground area. The ceiling has started to lose some of its height. Now, Splendor Bell is absolutely completely hunched over as it's come down in these little tiny stalactites, only about 3 inches long. As you round the corner, Ko, you're first to see it. You see a glimmer of an eye, about 2 feet high. And as Grinkeeper rounds the corner, the drift globe enters the area. A 2-foot-high, strange fellow looks at you. He's got these big, thick fingers made of stone, and his head comes to this heavy brow, also of stone. A little creature of some kind, very much matching the surrounding earth and rock.
Just call out to it. Hello. You.
It gives a... And as it talks to you, its hand reaches over to the wall and grabs another rock, and it puts it in its maw and goes...
Grinkeeper will try to mime, "We don't understand you," with a performance.
Do it.
Oh, okay, it was a 7, not a 1. So a 9 total.
It gives a... and holds the rock up. That's eating. Splendorbelt, you speak primordial for some reason.
Yeah, why do I?
Why? Well, you tell me.
I don't remember choosing that.
You speak Minotaur, Orc, and Primordial.
Wow.
I don't
really,
know. I didn't.
You really made some
choose.
choices with the languages there, Scott.
I did do a prepackaged cleric, but I don't remember choosing that when it may have been part of that. But for a half orc, I don't know why that's there. Okay, I speak primordial.
Yeah. Well, we can think about it another time. Maybe you...
I've been studying it at the temple. I know. It's all good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you want your potato farm, but potatoes grow in the earth, so you thought maybe you could hire on some elemental workers someday.
Sure.
We'll figure it out another time.
Sure.
But this is a strange dialect. This isn't like the one you've been studying. That's very clean in text and maybe what something like an air elemental would speak, one doing a presentation, one that might be being worshipped, talking to its various followers.
Right.
This is very much like a rock, tasty rock, you want rock?
I would say back in its language, why, wait, you like rock, or are you trying to give me rock? Explain yourself.
You eat rock, we be friends. You eat rock, I like rock.
How come? Well, I don't eat rock. It's not normal for me to eat it.
Don't eat a rock. The
No.
rock is good.
The rock is probably okay, but it's not my typical thing to eat.
We eat a rock together like for friendship.
And he breaks the rock over his knee and passes you half.
As a gesture, I will pull out my raw potato, break it in half over my knee, and give him half of my cold raw potato.
Oh, did it a squishy rock? The squish. Oh,
And he's completely smashed it, and it's all over his hands.
oh, the rock. The rock. It's a bad rock. Bad rock.
It's good rock, and I'll sort of lick half of the rock he handed me, but I won't eat it because I can't.
Make a performance check, or a diplomacy, or deception, or maybe even sleight of hand if you want to do the sort of dog throw over the shoulder sort of thing.
Okay.
Maybe give the old like side like ow through the. So the roll is up to you.
I have terrible sleight of hand. What are the other options you gave me?
Deception. We got persuasion.
Let's do persuasion. I feel pretty good about that. Let's do persuasion. 21, not dirty 21.
You like rock. I like rock.
And he holds out his hands. There's potato all over his hands. He seems to want you to do something about it.
Oh. Oh, interesting. And his hands are just like stone, right? Like stone hands?
Yeah, they got 4 fingers, including the thumb.
Mm-hmm.
They're big. They're all solid. It's not like he's made of floating rocks or anything like that. When he moves, he sort of crunches, and grit falls out between the joints.
Okay. I will just, to his outreached hand with potato bits on it, I'll just sort of brush it off. Brush off anything I can see, and as a gesture of like, yeah, I'll help clean your little hand.
Oh, good friend. Friend warn. I'll never.
And he points down the continuing tunnel.
Okay. And where's everyone else with this? Are they all seeing me do this with him? Have this
Just
conversation?
watching you in amazement as you speak to a rock.
Okay. And then
And the whole time they've just been hearing the. And then you go in a bit more fancy of a dialect. Oh, grogru.
all right. I will say to the group, I'll say, oh, okay, he is saying we can pass. We can go past here now. It's no problem.
Okay. The warn.
Oh.
And he, with his 4 fingers, kind of splits them into Spock symbols, in a sense,
Yeah.
and goes up by his face and goes,
Click. Roll.
Oh, he is warning us against this something. I'll turn back to him and say, "What is? Give me more information. What is this?" And I'll do this with my hands.
he looks confused that he wasn't understood.
He describes something sounds very bad, but I have no specifics. He's confusing.
We thank you, little rock man. And Grinkeeper will start going, ready with her hammer out and her shield.
As you guys pass, like he's, handing out lunch bags on a field trip, he sort of reaches up a rock.
Greenkeeper will accept a rock.
All right, he grabs
Yeah.
another one up for Ko,
I'll take a rock. Yeah.
and another one up for Splendorbelt as he takes his position.
Okay.
And as you pass by, he gets right back to munching tasty rocks.
I do not know what he was describing. It sounds bad. And do I have any hint, do you think? Did he say enough? Is there anything I could roll to try to understand?
We could do an insight. Would give you a monster's character's true intentions, clues of body language, speech habits, mannerisms.
Yeah.
That sounds like insight.
That sounds like insight. Let's do insight. I also have good. 7. It's not great.
You have frankly no idea. The entire experience was rather jarring, but if you're pretty happy that you speak the language in the first place, but you don't remember why.
I really don't. All right. As we proceed, I will feel very cautious because what he described seemed pretty crazy. So,
Well, not to immediately put you on the spot, but as we walk, Ko would go, "Where did you learn to speak rock monster?"
it was some books I found. Was boring time living in Paylor Temple. Thought it'd be fun to have, different kind of dialect to play with.
They had books on speaking to rocks.
Yes, basic language skills.
Is this normal?
Normal for a rock man like
A
me.
follower of Palo or to...
No, it was more.
Okay.
In fact, probably don't mention it too much.
Do you speak other languages?
None that you would understand very well. That sounded rude. I didn't mean it to be. No, I speak. Hold on. What do I speak? Shit. I speak. Where's languages?
Right there below your armor, weapons, tools, below senses.
Yeah, left side.
Left side. Oh, here we go. I speak Common, which, as you know, we are speaking. Minotaur, Orc of my home, at least half my home people, and Primordial, which is Rockman.
You speak Minotaur.
Minotaur?
Yes.
That is oddly specific.
This is one I do not remember studying at all. I don't know why I know this one.
I think you're pulling my leg.
Well, when we get to Minotaur at some point in our life, I show you how I speak.
Say something in Minotaur. What does it sound like?
It sounds like it's like these. They are like cow people, very dirty. Do not a big fan.
But enough to learn their language.
Well, if in a pinch I can speak it. Yes.
In case you stumble upon a labyrinthine maze and need to speak to a Minotaur.
Well, you never know where a Minotaur will be. Could be here, could be there, could be now, could be later. You never know. This is why it's good to know.
That's a good point.
Yes, you never know when you're going to encounter a Minotaur.
Luck favors the bold, Ko. This I believe. And I'll pound my chest and then keep walking.
And this conversation happens as you guys continue to walk through the caverns. Of course, this means that we're not moving with any sort of stealth at the moment, but that doesn't really seem like our group in the first place. So we continue pretty loud and proud through the cavern, having some good laughs as we make our way towards an opening. And Ko, you're first to hear it. Over the fun and laughter of your previous conversation, you hear something echoing down through the cave up ahead. It's disjointed at the moment, but with your passive perception of 16, you can pick out several different voices. Somebody's talking.
I would just very quietly go, hold up.
What is it?
I hear something up ahead. I think I'm going to go ahead and scout ahead.
Cool, I'll stay here.
What do you hear? What is this that you hear?
I want to try something. It's going to be a little weird, but bear with me.
Okay.
I'm going to try and activate my psionic power for psychic whispers.
Awesome.
So, as an action, choose up to 2 creatures you can see. Roll 1 psionic energy die, although for the first one after a long rest, you don't need it. For a number of hours, 1d6, I can speak to those chosen creatures telepathically within 1 mile. So, we will go ahead and do that. Let me roll my d6.
How do you go about this? Are you
1 hour.
Let's see. It doesn't say there's any range to this, right?
As long as I'm within 1 mile.
You can speak with them, but it doesn't say anything along the lines like you must be able to touch the creature to engage the psionic whispers.
Nope. Just be able to see them. 2 creatures you can see.
Okay. All right. Well, you've done some training with Wildfire for a bit and learned some psionic arts. How does this look from the outside? Do you do like a 2 fingers mind head touch? Do you sort of beckon their brains towards you? What does Ko do to make this connection?
Well, Poe is still discovering this, so it doesn't look cool at all. There's no flourish to it. He squints and leans in really hard, and his head shakes a little as he thinks very loudly at them. And like somebody coming over a PA system, you hear, hello? Hello?
Go, you're in my head.
Greenkeeper says aloud.
Okay, good. It's working. Did you hear that, Splendibel?
Yes.
Great.
So this is good that you that we can hear these.
Okay, I'm going to go scout ahead.
Okay.
And if I hear anything or need you, I will just think at you with my brain.
Can we answer in the
You
same
will
way,
hear.
or do we have to? We don't get to do that.
Yes.
Okay. So why think back? I go, Ko, you have a smelly face, and then you can hear these. Yes.
I could, but you said to doubt that, so
Oh yes.
you just need to think it.
Okay.
Then
Okay,
you have smelly face in those sort of mental subtitle appears in your mind, Ko.
perfect, working. All right, I'm gonna creep up ahead stealthily.
All right, everyone roll a stealth. Those hanging back as well as Ko.
Okay.
24 for Ko.
Nice.
Ugh, negative. Oh, I have disadvantage on this. Hold on.
11.
10. It's not as bad as I thought.
Cool. You guys managed to stand still and not cause a racket in the back as Ko advances down the tunnel. I'm going to move your character here along the map. You enter into the open area of the cavern up ahead. And as you do, the voices continue to talk over. You hear some thumps and some slashes and some sort of wah kind of magical noise happening, as well as some thoof, thoof, thoof. And yes! Good hit, Norman. I'm going to reveal a bit of the map here. To your right, Ko, you see worked stone continuing down a tunnel. In fact, as someone who received a rather painful pile of needles into their buttocks in the previous style of ruins such as these, you immediately recognize it as the dungeon, much like the ones you guys found in the forest. The stone is worked into tiles on the floor that seemingly might be huge stone blocks. The whole thing is rather well fortified, and at the end you see how it curves to the left and enters what would presumably be the area full of traps, just like the one in the forest. On the wall before that turn, facing you, is that top triangle symbol with the circle underneath. The very top of the ruins. Hieroglyphs that you've seen before. But the noise brings your eyes back around to the left, which would be down the actual cavernous part, the non-worked part. And you see 3 individuals. They are battling a dark mantle, and they seem to have just delivered the killing blow. You see Edgar Boonfellow, this is the dwarf, clad in his scale mail with his heavy helmet of metal. He's wielding the great hammer and swings it through the air, smashes this flying squid beast. Alongside him is a rather pompous-looking redhead with a shield on his back, wielding a great long bow, and he seems to have just used it. And in the back behind that is a hovering figure, looking very regal, with a elemental crackling glow about them of blue energy. A high elf. And they have in their hand a wand that is slightly sizzling at the moment.
What race was the archer guy?
Human.
Human.
You're completely out of view. You've got a wonderful stealth at the moment going, so they continue their conversation. And he takes his hammer and sort of flips it so the top of it, the heavy part, is down, and smacks it on top of the dark mantle. Fine shot indeed, Norman. Thank you. I'm rather adept at such things. Yes, and might we move on and continue our exploration? Hey, you're eager to get out of here, eh, Phelan? Well, the likes of you probably never underground, eh? Eh? And the high elf slowly descends, his toes and his little slippers sort of touching down to the ground as he kind of picks a foot up and brushes off some mud. Look at that, huh? Norman, you excited? A proper dungeon ahead. It has been a while, a good long while, since we've had a proper dungeon to explore. This entire world business is far beyond our levels. It's all so tedious. I agree. We are level 4 and have better things to do than clearing out wells, but let's beat the dungeon today, huh? We found it first. It's ours. What's that claim to it?
Ko would use that moment to step out of the shadows. Or he would say, before stepping out, I would maybe rethink the I was here first stance on all of this.
Whoa! Norman puts an arrow in his bow quickly. Oh,
Hold your fire. It's a friendly.
You're all
And then-
so jumpy. This is that Darkest Dello fellow that we found.
I'd call to the others. It's okay to move forward.
Awesome!
The Delve, yes, the group that named themselves a lower rank for some
The
reason.
Darkest Delvers, thank you! As Grinkeeper walks around the side, hands on the hips.
Oh, right, you're the expert group, huh?
You have heard of us before.
We were all in the same meeting there.
Oh, shit. This is correct.
Well, you were. We didn't see your fellows. They weren't all invited.
Yes, well, we've heard quite enough about you. Apparently you fought a Grick once, and that made you famous.
Try 4.
Fought several Gricks. Discovered a dungeon. And that was day 2. I don't remember if that was day 2 or not, but that's what we're gonna say.
We're gonna go with it.
Yeah, it would have been day 3. It would have been day 3 for you all. But
Yeah,
they don't
we're
have to know that.
exaggerating. Yeah, they don't
have to know that.
that.
Oh, fine. You all get down here from the well?
We did.
And how about this place?
It is very similar to the dungeon that we discovered in the woods. The one infested with Gricks.
I heard you weren't able to keep claim of that dungeon.
Well, we were very busy doing other tasks.
Where did you hear this from?
I have my sources.
Okay.
Grinkeeper's going to be studying the ruins to confirm that it is the dungeon from before with the Grix.
Cool. You head down, and everyone on the map here, move yourselves where you would now be. I'll go ahead and kind of locate or move my heroes here in a line so you all can be talking to them. So if you walk away, then we know it. Boonfellow leads the way. Grinkeeper kind of wanders off. And Grinkeeper, as you get to the back there, you see that very symbol, the top of the triangle with the circle underneath that you translated to mean sky people or people of the above. That'd be located on the wall right ahead of you as you look down that tunnel. Boonfellow speaks up. Norman, let's go easy on them, huh? We need friends in this business. I am Edgar Boonfellow. We met briefly, but I am a world domain cleric to smash the evils. This here is Norman Green, my pompous friend, who's very good with an arrow. And of course, Phelan Ianya, the storm sorcerer. A pleasure to meet you all, he says in the back.
And did your party have a name?
Aye, we be the First Sons Brotherhoods. We lost some sons a couple years back, and we've sort of opened up the curriculum.
I was going to say it is a interesting name.
Well, it served us for a time, and why ruin the branding at this point, eh? Everyone knows the First Sons Brotherhood take on the most evil of quests when available.
Well, we are the, as you said, Darkest Delvers. We are the original three. Same. Founders, and still established.
Oh, congratulations to you. I'm sure that will change in time. Best of luck to you, though.
We gonna explore this dungeon?
I think we should.
Cool.
Yes.
And Grinkeeper will start heading back down again.
Oh, my
Phelan
follower.
in the back speaks up, the high elf, tall, 6'7" or so, now in this more open area, able to stand to his full height. The one who was hovering earlier, even. We came via this tunnel here from Arwell, walking some 30 minutes or so through the winding caverns. We have not explored the area immediately behind us, though. When we entered the area, and sort of scratches at his face lightly, and looks at what he found. Oh, flicks away the grit. There was a dark mantle in here that kept us rather busy. We do not know what's behind us. But if we want to do the dungeon first, let us, in agreement, go together.
Why don't you guys secure the back? We've done part of a dungeon before. We can do this one. And then we can meet up.
Well, that sits a little odd with us, for if you find loot and goods, well, we should have some claim over them as well, no?
I mean, I guess we could share. Anyway, I'm gonna start this dungeon. I'm pretty excited.
It's first come, first serve. That's how it works. You get there first, you get loot. Simple.
We're the ones who saw it first, after all, says
But
the
you didn't
archer.
do it, did ya?
You have to
I
get
didn't
it.
keep- Keeper
Don't
hits
think
down
that's
the hall.
true. You were down here after I had already gotten here, after we had already made our way this far.
Yes.
We watched you come to us.
Let's have a roll off here. We got all sorts of options available: deceptions, persuasions, intimidates. You could even roll something else if you so choose, as to make some sort of proclamation as to your ownership over the dungeon ahead. What do you guys want to do?
I would attempt to use my size to intimidate, so I would whip
All right.
around and look tough.
And I believe you get advantage on intimidate.
I definitely get a +3, but I don't think I get advantage, do I?
Let's see. Oh, you gain proficiency in intimidate as a half orc.
Oh,
Cool.
okay. All right.
So it's already added in.
It's already in there. All right, here we go. So here's my roll. Come on, baby. 14. It's not too bad. He says, hopefully.
I'll try a persuasion on them as well with what I'm saying. Oh, that's a natural 1 for a 3.
Oof.
Grinkeeper will do a persuasion, also 22.
Where are you located, Co? Okay. So Grinkeeper and Splunderbelt have both been
good.
kind of backing up, heading down the dungeon, being like, bye, bye. Co, you attempt to make a sort of like, my friend's here, and end up getting a 1 as you look around and they're already heading down the hallway there. Splunderbelt, what does intimidation look like for you?
Weapon in each hand, shoulders back, head kind of down, looking a little bit wicked at them, and saying, "Rule is, we find first, we get all loot. This is rule. Only exception to rule is if we feel generous, maybe we give you something on way out, but that is no guarantee."
A very business-like intimidation.
Oh, yeah.
Rings out. Grinkeeper, you got a 22 on your persuasion. What do you say?
What she's been saying that, oh yeah, that's great. We're going though. You want to stop? You can come with. No one's stopping you.
All right. You all proceed, Grinkeeper, Splunderbelt, down the hall to the ruins. Cody, you run to catch up?
Yeah, Ko's gonna realize that, it didn't work, and he's gonna just bow out gracefully.
Your gumption over the dungeon and with your previous expertise known via the meeting earlier, they let you have it. Norman sort of waves his hand at you dismissively. They turn back and start talking amongst themselves, though Boonfellow, the dwarf, seems to be gesturing at you all in an unknown statement that you can't overhear. You guys head down the dungeon.
Let's just keep on making friends. Let's go.
We're beloved.
Yeah, the darkest delvers.
We're the darkest
most
delvers.
loved
No one doesn't love
adventuring
them.
group.
Yeah.
Grinkeeper, you round the corner and you recognize this area. This would be the double giant doors that swing to over a pit. So this is where you ran basically down the hall with the poisonous needles, turned the corner, and found these great trap doors. The buttons to activate or to lower and raise the trap doors, you can see about 10 foot away from you over the top of this platform.
Grinkeeper will explain what happened the first time they were here about the hole and everything and how she caught herself and then came back.
Cool. So Grinkeeper tells everybody that as she rounded the corner, there was this great pit. Pressing that button that you can see just on the other side of the pits allowed you to raise up the trapdoor and cross it, though it did seem a little wary about how much weight goes on it. The trapdoors, these large 10 by 10 stone sheets, are currently up. So there's no pit in front of you.
Oh, okay. So it's a hole. They've dropped. Oh, no, you mean up there flat. They haven't dropped.
Yeah, they are flat,
Okay.
but Grinkeeper informs you that should they swing downward, they would then descend into some sort of pit of unknown depth.
Gotcha.
I think I will just play it safe and skip the pit altogether. I will try and jump it. Land in the safe spot and then bounce back and make it across the other one.
Like a rogue
Cool.
mother effer.
Hey, look, I got a racial trait for mirthful leaps. If this isn't a mirthful leap, I don't know what is.
Right.
So the Let me roll the D8 for the mirthful leap, just so we know what we're working with. 1. I can go an extra foot when I jump, but I am very acrobatic as well. Do you want me to roll acrobatics?
Oh yeah. I figured you were already leaping.
Yeah, 18.
Cool. So in a double sort of jump, you jump over the first 10 feet easily, land, clop of your hooves as you jump the other 10 feet and land right on the edge perfectly with no problem. Before you see the sea of tiny holes. That was likely those needle traps, like in the previous dungeon.
Oh, these.
Ko is now on the other side of the up, solid ground platform traps that Grinkeeper has mentioned, though he is sort of standing still, looking down the hallway there.
What do you see?
It's the needle traps again.
Oh, are there buttons?
Look around for a button.
You can see down the way at the end of the hall, that button you would press that would tick, that would send a sort of timer to the needle trap. But as you're approaching from the opposite side, that button is now some 50 feet away.
I'm gonna huck my rock at it.
Your tasty rock? All right.
Yeah, let's
Go for
throw a
it.
tasty rock at it. All right. I just did it as a short bow. I figure that's a ranged attack. But it's a 9.
All right, you throw your tasty rock down the hall. It hits the wall, misses the button, hits the ground, and is bombarded with tiny needles that shoot into the rock, bounce around a little bit, but it doesn't sort of set off the whole hallway, just the immediate area. And so, and then clink, 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 clink of all the needles hitting the ground.
About how much force was it taking to push those buttons before? A decent amount, or?
It was pretty solid. You kind of had to, not just your thumb, you had to brace your whole sort of hand into getting that push in.
If I shot it with an arrow, would that be enough force?
That could work.
All right, I'm gonna take out the short bow and shoot an arrow at it.
Okay.
Natural 20 for a 25.
All right.
Nice.
You shoot the heck out of that button. In fact, with the natural 20, the arrow flies. Let's even give it a little bit of a Robin Hood Prince of Thieves camera as it goes zoom by and hits the button and embeds itself in the button. And you hear tick, 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 tick,
Nice.
as the
Broken.
thing appears to be stuck, permanently pressed down for the time being.
Nice.
All right, well, I'm gonna urge them to cross, and I'm gonna start cautiously making my way up because I see the little alcove, and I want to peek around that corner.
All right, you press a hoof onto the ground. Seems okay. And you advance down the hall, making your way towards that little alcove. Now, this alcove last time was explored by Grinkeeper. Ko having fallen on his butt and become poisoned by that time, I believe.
Yep.
Yep, accurate.
So as it you approach and you see a solid stone door with the seams around the side, particularly on the bottom, and then a button immediately to your left.
All right, I will. I'll step into that. Actually, you know what? Just in case something goes wrong with the button, it's held for now. I'm gonna go wait by the button though, just in case it needs another press. Someone will be there.
Oh, you're going to go to the far end of the hall by the button that has the arrow in it.
Yeah, just in case one of them needs it pressed if something goes wrong.
Cool. You take up position by the button. We go back to Splendor Belt and Grinkeeper, who are currently back at the beginning of the first pit trap.
Woof.
Splinter Belt, hold my arm. I'm gonna touch it with my foot, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. I hold tight. Here it goes. No, hold
All right. And then with the arms clasped, Grinkeeper will put a foot on one of the stone doors on the floor and slowly put more weight on it.
All right. Question for you. What has become of the bag of concrete?
Still here, right?
We should have been, dragging it.
Yeah, I'd have it. I'd still be carrying it.
Do you all continue to carry it? So Splendor Belt once, on our very, very first mission, with more than enough strength, kept it on his shoulder for the entire walk and wasn't exhausted by that or anything. So we can say that Splendor Belt's just been toting it?
Yeah, totally. Just carrying it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you got one arm up on the bag and one arm out for Grinkeeper.
Yep.
Grinkeeper, how much do you weigh?
That's a good question. Let's see. It looks like currently she's carrying, plus her weight, 136 pounds.
That would be
136.5.
just your item weight at the moment, because you have a giant hammer that is some 60 pounds. You have cast off chainmail armor, which is 55 pounds. I mean, you're ripped underneath.
So she's five. So she's probably about 120, 125.
Okay.
So we're looking at 280-ish.
Splendor Belt, roll athletics.
Okay. Oh, it's almost a natural 20. 16.
Grinkeeper, give me an acrobatics.
That was almost a 1. A 16.
Okay. So this is more of a pull by Splendor Belt, and you manage to put your weight on your back foot, and you just topple back over onto the ground. As you step down, it gave the weight too much, and the pit opened up. The stone slat 10 by 10 feet slamming into the wall below.
Thank you, Splendor Belt.
Ko, you at the end of the hall here. Erkung.
Is everybody all right?
We're okay.
We're okay.
Floor's not solid, though.
We're making our way to you.
Grinkeeper, you recover your position, but what now?
Is there a button on the other side of the wall?
There is. That'd be the button right at the edge of the first of the two pit traps, coming back from where Ko is.
That's pretty far.
Do you need a hand with anything?
There's a button.
Yeah.
There's always a button.
You could push button. Too far for us to
Although-
reach.
Cole go running back to the other side and push the button.
Cool. The giant slash stone swings up via its hinges and once again connects, making the floor solid.
Did that just reset the trap, or is that a permanent fix?
That's a good question. How much weight did it take for the door to bust open?
Yeah. How much leaning did she do?
You had moved the majority of your weight onto there, so you said you were about 120 pounds, and so we're sitting at around, that'd be 236. So somewhere in that range, the trapdoor opened.
Okay, but it was solid otherwise.
Right, until you put basically your full weight upon it.
Okay.
Is the button like a stone? It's like a stone button, right?
Right.
All right, Splendor Belt. I think we might have to leave some stuff here.
We have to take cement. How far is that where Co is? Could I heave that over there?
You can give it a throw.
Oh, shit. Well, we know it weighs less than she does. So, in theory, even if I miss, it won't trigger the trap, right? I mean, we may have trouble getting the rest of the way, but it's not... even terminal velocity won't be her total weight.
It's worth a shot. The bag is about 80 pounds.
For my size, I could totally do this. All right. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to make an attempt to hurl it across to where Co is, or near where Co is, so we don't have that weight with us as we figure this out.
All right. Let it rip.
All right.
Athletics.
Athletics it is. A 17.
Okay, you get a little bit of a spin going, and you throw the bag. It goes over the first pit trap,
Yeah.
crosses the solid piece in between the 5 foot, that span between the two pits, and lands and slides. And you kind of see the door on the next pit trap go, but doesn't fall open.
Okay.
The bag would be located. I'm going to mark it in, let's see, with a token here. So it sits on top of the second pit trap.
Okay. That little black one. So not quite far enough to clear all that. Co, can you reach the bag of cement?
Not without standing on the trap.
You don't have stick or I don't know, something?
If we wanted to cut open the bag of cement, maybe.
It's a good point.
Should try and push it. And Grinkeeper's gonna take her chainmail off. She's gonna leave her warhammer. And she's gonna go with her javelin of lightning and her shield. But the backpack she'll take off too. And it's just the basics.
Cool. That javelin of lightning is only 2 pounds, according to the sheet here. All right. How do you proceed?
She'll get on all fours for this first one and shimmy backward so that if the door opens, she can hold on to the top with her 2 hands.
I gotcha. You begin the shimmy, and as you cross onto it with your weight now around, this would only be about 140 pounds total. It gives a little give, but holds solid.
Okay, that was scary. And then she'll slowly make her way to where the cement bag is, but before getting on it, she'll use her javelin to push it further until it's onto the firm ground on the other side.
Hopefully, the blunt end of your of your
That's
javelin.
a good. Please tell me you yell that out because she totally would have used the pointy.
Don't use pointy end. You'll break bag. Don't do it.
Grinkeeper pause is about to use the pointy end and then flips it. Pointy end.
As Splendor Belt yells out, "Don't use the pointy end," you hear from down the cavern, "You all right down there?"
We're fine. We have it covered. Calm. Don't worry about it. Go do your own thing. We have this.
All right, like extreme pool, the billiards. You push that bag off the platform and onto the ground by Co.
He'd grab it and drag it clear in case anybody needs to jump or do anything.
All right, and Grinkeeper continues her shimmy.
Yep, until she reaches the other side.
All right, Grinkeeper, you find yourself on the other side. Do you just have a plain tunic you use underneath your armor, or do you actually have like some of your fancy dress clothes underneath there?
Oh no, it wouldn't be fancy dress clothes. It would be the most basic shirt and pants combo that's found at the most basic store in town.
Cool. All right, Splendorbelt, you're the only one left on this side.
I am too fat. If I get on plate, it will go. I don't know what to do. Because I am too big, right? There's no way. Even naked, I'm too big.
Let's see. In your description, you didn't write your weight, but I believe when we asked you previously, it was like 240 or something like that.
Yeah, half work. Pretty big. Yeah, I'd say, about 240. Nude. Anything extra on me would make it way more.
Which you have 178 pounds of scale mail, double maces, chain, a second set of chain mail, apparently.
Yeah. I would.
Wait, 2 shields.
Yeah, don't ask me why that happened. I really
2
don't
light
know.
crossbows.
Again, all I did was the basic kit. I didn't add
Sounds like
those.
maybe you added it twice though, because it sounds like you got 2 of everything.
That's what it sounds like. But and you're
2
right.
shields,
They're there.
2 chainmails, 2 maces.
I need to get rid of the 2 maces. I meant to do. Maybe it did.
Okay.
Maybe I'd said basic kit or something, and it put 3 items in there. I'm not sure. But the maces are supposed to be 2. The rest of it is not really supposed to be there. So we can.
I think you should dual wield shields. I
We
think
can-
that's very cool.
Dual wield shields. Dual wield my chain armor. Like, why not?
I'm like a double Captain America.
Yeah, so I don't know how to handle that other than that's not supposed to be there, so we can enforce the rule, and I have all too much shit with me. But either way, if I'm naked, that thing's falling out. So I don't know what to do. I'd probably have to wait.
What if
Or
we
jump like
hold
Co
the
did.
button?
I could try.
Hmm.
I mean, that's athletics or what?
Yeah, that'd be athletics.
I understand that maybe it was a bad idea to leave the rope behind, but does anybody else carry rope?
And Grinkeeper will look at her pack that's back across the way. I could go back though. It's okay.
He
We'll tie
could-
the rope to me.
No, he
I'll-
could throw the rope. We can do this.
Okay.
Splendorbelt, get the rope.
1 second, I'm deleting second crossbow from inventory. Don't know why it is even in this. Okay, sorry.
I imagine the literal version of that. He's just reaching into a bag and just going.
Yeah. Just chucking
He's
it out
opened
of
the
there.
pit and he's just chucking stuff
Yeah, I
in.
mean, you could. How are you getting rid of these items?
I'm throwing them just behind me, just on the ground.
Okay, in a
Ka-clang, ka-clang. I'm never going to need them again, so they're just leaving. Code, tell me again what you need. What you say?
Get the rope out of Grinkeeper's bag.
Oh, yes. Okay, I can do it. I'll bend over her bag and pull out the rope.
Hold on to one end, throw me the other.
Okay. I'll throw him the rope. I throw him the idol, he throws me the whip. No, I throw him the rope.
Cool. Since there's no immediate danger, we won't make you throw the rope, as it might take multiple times, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
You throw the rope
I am-
over?
Oh, go ahead.
No, continue.
I'm gonna take a. Is it called a piton or a python? Piton? It's in my inventory, part of my adventuring gear. I'm gonna take a hammer, also in my adventuring gear. I'm going to hammer that thing into the wall. It's designed to create anchor points on smooth surfaces. In fact, actually, let's let gravity work for us. We're gonna hammer it into the floor, and we will tie the rope through it to create a secure anchor point for him.
Cool. You could even use one of the needle holes as your point of entry.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah. And give him a solid rope with which to move with.
All right. Splendorbelt, you are secured. You have dropped several items, reducing your overall weight, but not by much. It's time for the athletics jumps.
All right. Here we go. Number 1. Come on. Oh, 21.
Okay.
Dirty 21.
You manage to get a little bit of a running start, and very much like Ko, you do a 10-foot jump and sort of stumble, but manage to get the other 10 feet and end up on the other side.
Okay.
Without incident.
Okay.
All right, we'll tie the slack so he doesn't have a big old giant rope if he does fall, and let him go again.
All right. Roll again. Here we go.
No, he's already made it. He did both the initial jump.
Oh,
and
he
then
did double?
Oh,
Okay.
that's
rode
double.
that
Okay.
initial
Awesome.
Okay.
momentum because there's only a 5-foot platform between the two pits.
Cool. Even better.
So, holding on to that momentum, carried himself all the way over to the other side.
Awesome.
We are now all three on the far side of the pits, on top of the poison traps, which are deactivated with that clink, clink, clink. Where do we go?
The adjacent room.
Grinkeeper immediately picks herself up and heads to the small side room that she knows exists from the previous dungeon. And there's the button.
The button is pressed.
She presses the button, the door up and reveals a small room. And very much like the previous room, Grinkeeper, there is the old signs of an armory. There is a stone chest out in front of you, very much in the position the previous one was. And along the walls, not missing this time, you see 8 seemingly spears, torches, some sort of long pipe-like object made of the same stone metal hybrid and covered in those same elven runes twisting around it. But there's no point at the top of these, just a small hole.
Hey, Ko, I think this might be for you.
Let me take a look. I'm gonna go in and I guess the first thing I want to do is check. Let's check the chest for traps. Let's see if we can discern if it is trapped in some way.
Cool, let's do a investigation.
5.
Oops.
You have no idea. The small stone chest of sorts is a box, and on top of it, slid into the box itself with a rim around the edge that holds it above, is a stone plate.
Looking at the items that are on the sides of the room, do they seem fastened into it?
They're leaning.
loose?
There's little brackets that divide them, much like you might have a series of armaments in a guardhouse.
I'm gonna grab one.
You grab it.
Great. Maybe we all take one.
Cool. Am I free to open the chest?
Splendor Belt, take 2.
Okay. I will take them. I have room now.
It doesn't. I don't recognize any traps on it, but
Awesome. And then she'll go into squat position and
And she heaves it up, and it slides off the back and kungs down on the ground. And inside is a sort of cone, a horn, like a cornucopia of sorts, a megaphone.
Stanley was here. He
This-
wanted me to find his treasures.
This looks like it was laid in the same sort of stone metal hybrid, but in rings, almost like it was made of clay, being layered on top of it and then smoothed. And it ends in this great opening that kind of filibusters out.
Do you have any idea what it is?
horn.
I have no idea.
Maybe we just take it with us.
Yeah, that sounds good. Oh wait, can you make it do the thing like your blade used to do?
I'll pick it up and I'll think at it real hard.
You think at this horn, and nothing happens. However, in your offhand, where you're now wielding this long spear, the same crystalline energy emerges from the end. Apparently, these are psychic spears, psi spears.
Well, these seem to be responding, but not so much this.
Cool, I'm gonna blow in it. And then Grinkeeper grabs it and goes,
And that's where we'll take our break.
Oh no!
Perfect. That's awesome. Okay.
summon all the demons of hell.
That's right.
It's okay.
We're going to take a quick 8 or so minute break, everybody. Come on back in a second. And if you're just sitting there, feel free to just sit there. You don't have to leave. But we'll be back in a moment, right here on There Will Be Dungeons. I didn't record all that fun talk. That's okay. All right. We're back, and we're back to it. Take it away there, DM of ours.
Everyone roll Constitution saving throws.
Oh, shit.
Oh no!
That didn't sound good at all.
Is this a spell or magical effect?
This is a magical effect, yes.
Sweet.
10 for me.
4?
A 4? Oh.
An 18. The brown note. Get ready.
It's a brown note.
I'm gonna need to clean that armor.
I'm gonna need that other armor that I left behind.
Okay, we got a 4, a 10, and Co got an 18?
18.
No.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, 18.
All right, Co, you're fine. It was very, very loud. Splendor Belt and Grinkeeper, you both take 19 points of thunder damage. Thunder is sonic damage. It just means that it was sound. There isn't actual electricity in the air.
Okay.
And you are deafened.
I'm sorry, how many points? How much damage?
19.
19.
This explodes, rings out in this tiny room. What do we got here? 20 by 15. So not the smallest room in the world, but it blasts. And as the sound ends, only Co can hear, "Hey, you guys all right in there?"
We're fine. Yep. We're it's fine.
Can those who were damaged hear him?
No.
Okay.
His lips are mouthing words you do not know
Okay.
and cannot hear.
So is it like every movie where a bomb has gone off and all I hear is like the horrible whistle sound? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. That's unfortunate.
But we are under the hour marks, so Co, your mental connection with everybody for Psychic Whispers is still intact.
Well, I would first be mouthing to them, "Are you all right?"
What?
Ah, okay.
I cannot hear you if you're saying words. I don't hear them.
I will send them a telepathic message then. "Are you all right?"
Mine back will be, does it look like I'm okay?
Grinkeeper will scream back, trying to think it too. Is that you, Co?
Just
So
nod.
Thunderbelt's mental subtitles arrive with, little hyphens, very much in his accent. Grinkeepers appear shaking at the bottom of your eye screen in capitals.
And is she yelling it out loud as well? So
Oh
it's
yeah, at
both?
the same time. Yep.
Okay. Okay. I don't think we should blow the horn anymore.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Grinkeeper, you are in possession, and it's on your character sheet there, of a horn of blasting. And as you look down on it, you see the end of that cone that happens at the end of the horn is a small crack that wasn't there before.
Cool.
As you all stumble around a bit, try to get your bearings, Ko talks you down via his mental telepathy. The deafen fades after about a minute.
Okay.
You all seem pretty stunned. Do you think you need a rest? Do we need to stop a moment?
Yeah, I could use a $5.
Did you take, Kristen, did you take as much damage as I did?
Yeah.
Both took 19. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes, I could go for a rest.
You'll get out your...
I'm hurt badly.
You all pop a squat and take a short rest here as there is no danger. Popping out your various rations, leftover potatoes, maybe a rock that was given to you recently. And we short rested.
Stupid. That was a dumb roll.
Was that for something?
Yeah, I'm using hit die to recover my HP.
Gotcha. But you rolled a bad hit die.
Yeah, I'm going to do 2 hit die. Here we go. Did it work? How come it didn't work? Oh, 15. Heal. All right. I feel good about that.
All right, sorry about that, everyone. I will try to use these things in a safer locations. I feel really bad about that.
Yes, please.
I mean, I have to say I was very curious about what the horn would do, and
Yeah.
it turns out it did what the horn does. Maybe a little louder than expected.
If
Oh.
you ever need to take me out, you know how to do it.
A head pops around the door. It's the head of the high elf. You can see him almost completely 90 degrees. His head sort of emerges sideways. Is everyone okay in here? You all have been resting. A short rest is about an hour long. So after the massive blast, apparently he decided to investigate.
You decided to join us. Welcome.
Yeah, we're fine. Just, I don't know why I'm Scottish all of a sudden.
We're fine.
We're fine.
Just needed a drink.
Just needed a wee bit of a rest.
Oh, I figured there would be more after the fine, but
Yeah,
yeah, we
there's
corrected
more
your
too.
accent.
No, we're fine. Just having some food and taking it easy. Don't want to overexert ourselves. It's been a busy day. We fought many things.
Very well. And his head hovers back away.
Is he moving forward or is he moving like
He's
they're
moving
going
back the way
further
he
in the
came.
dungeon? Okay. All right, we don't want those guys to get ahead of us. I think
No, we do not.
You all emerge from the small room back onto the many, many holes of the poison needle trap currently stuck and making its clicking noises. You see the high elf hovering about a foot off the ground, make his way to the turn, and go back across the pit traps.
What,
must
just
be
by
so
jumping or
easy
something?
to just hover over all the traps. Magic users, they have it so easy.
They do, don't they?
Making me
Grinkeeper totally doesn't get it.
missing Nash's pants all of a sudden.
Level 13 pants.
Yeah.
All right, we're up. We're about. We've refreshed our health after the mighty blast of the Horn of Blasting. Where do you guys go?
Down the poison trap hall.
Yep.
All right, you all round the corner, and you see a normal-looking hallway that extends and goes left again.
Any traps down this one? Grinkeeper will stay behind her.
I'm going to investigate for traps. With a 13.
With a 13, you look around and you don't see any traps. However, your investigation causes you to jar your memory. And you remember that this bend in particular is where you found the skewered grick. There was a spear trap that shot out of the wall.
We don't want to
Do I
that again.
notice any buttons at the end of the hall?
Not in your vision.
Okay.
In fact, you guys never found where this button was located on your initial dungeon delve in the forest.
But seems reasonable to think we just maybe didn't see it. That we just missed it, right?
Right, and that particular trap had a grick currently skewered upon it, and the rest of the spears that were coming out of the wall were broken off as the gricks had forced past the dead one. So long ago. I mean, that was a month and a half ago.
I mean, maybe we just try and run really fast.
Yeah, I'm down for that. And Grinkeeper will start bouncing, getting ready to run. Just say when.
I'm gonna sprint down the hall. I have a 35-foot walking speed, so I think that puts me as the fastest. So 70 feet sprinting. But I'm gonna be ready to dive if I see any spears or hear anything coming my way.
Cool. You run. And you make it to the far side. But right behind you, maybe if you were even 5 foot slower, you would have been caught. The spears shoot out the side wall and then slide back into their slots.
Okay, now that I'm at the end of the hall, I'm gonna... Let me see if I can find any sort of button.
Yeah.
Do another look around.
This is a good idea.
Another 13.
You find it pretty clearly. Right there, just around the corner, is another stone button for you to press.
All right, let's press it.
You press it, and the spears slide out to about halfway, making themselves visible, and a tick begins to tick.
As soon as Grinkeeper hears the first tick, she's off.
Runs around the spears.
You're fast.
Ticks over
Cub.
6 seconds, and then slides back into the wall.
Splenderbelt,
Eh,
you're up.
okay. I'll go for
Push
it.
it again.
Cool. And you walk by the spears without incident.
All right.
And you see ahead of you, much like it was in the previous dungeon, a long set of stairs going up. Now, this set of stairs is longer than the forest dungeon went. These are stone steps made of the same sort of ruined stone, placed in these large blocks, heading up at about a 45-degree angle. And you can see a small room at the top. But as of right now, dark vision and light doesn't show you beyond the very edge of that room.
All right. Usual marching order?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll be right
Let's
behind you.
proceed carefully. We don't know if we have gone through everything that there is to go through.
Grinkeeper will nod and will... She's not fast this time, but her steps are very steady and sure, but careful.
All right. Everyone starts heading up the stairs, and you reach the room at the top. Though the stairs continue through it. On the sides, it divides into these sort of platforms, and there are 6 in total. On the left and right, a big, flat 10 by 10 stone block. And then the stairs kind of in the middle between them go up, 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 and then about 5 feet above that is another 10 by 10 stone block, and then up, 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 another 10 by 10 stone block. And beyond it, you can see the top of the stairs lead to a solid block of stone. And looking at it, Ko, you can see that the stone divides down the center into these large 15 by 10 foot sheets. And that's where the stairs just sort of end into that sheet, into that stone ceiling.
Grinkeeper will keep going very cautiously.
Yeah, I'll follow. Just keep an eye out for any sort of buttons or levers or anything that might proceed us further beyond this point.
Cool.
And this,
The two of you...
is
Go for it.
this as far as we can see down here at the end of this hall?
Correct.
Okay.
The stairs end as they touch the ceiling.
Okay.
As you climb up the steps, Grinkeeper and Ko, you see another set of that stone 10 by 10 area. The very top one has two braziers on either side, made of that stone as well. There is a old sort of powder inside that you're not sure what it is at a glance. But Ko, you note that on each one of these 6 10 by 10 stone platforms off to the side of the stairs is a hole about 1.5 inches in diameter, right in the center of it.
I'm gonna reach out and kind of pick up some of the powder, give it a smell, see if I can identify it at all.
Okay, let's do a investigation or an insight. I guess insight's more people.
19 on the investigation.
19. It's tart and sour.
Does the just out of curiosity, does the circumference of the hole match the circumference of the spears that we're carrying?
You hold the two next to each other and it does.
I'm gonna stick one in one of the holes.
All right, where are you located when you do this?
Let's see. The braziers are up at the front, right?
Yeah, the top of the stairs.
So I probably would be doing this at probably this one over here.
Cool. And you just insert it in?
Yep.
All right, you insert it in, and as you push it down, you feel a sort of click. And then the platform you're on, this 10 by 10 stone, also gives an additional click as it shifts downward.
I think we should try putting all of the spears in these.
Yeah. Grinkeeper will go put hers in at the slab across from Ko's.
All right, Grinkeeper mans the center right slat.
And then you have 2, Splendor Belt.
Okay. Shit, hold on a second. Ignore me for a minute. Something fell back here.
No worries. Splendor Belt does have 2 on him. There are 6 platforms in total, Ko.
Oh. That's a good point.
Were there 6 in the armory room?
There were 8 back there.
8.
Oh. Why did I think there were 4? Okay.
Okay, back.
So
that means we
I'm
don't
gonna
have
go-
2. We need 2.
I'm
hear
gonna go
that right?
get. I'm gonna go get more.
Okay.
Do you
That would
leave
be
your
what I
spear in the hole?
Yes. Yes, I do.
As you step off the platform, it raises again and gives a click. But the spear stays right where it is.
Oh, we might need the other party. Okay. Regardless, I'm gonna be heading back. I'm gonna go down the stairs, push the button, dodge the spears, and head back into the armory.
Cool. So you grab 2 more?
I'll grab the rest.
Okay, just a big pile of
Just a big
psychic
bundle
spears
of psychic spears.
heading down the hall.
And then I will, I'll call out, Boonfellow, are you there?
Just screaming down the hall.
Just yell. Let's see. I mean, they've been nosy. They keep popping around the corner every couple of seconds. I figure I don't have to yell too loud.
Yeah.
I think we have something, but I think we are going to need each other to get any further, if you are interested.
All right, teamwork it is then. Yeah, had a change of heart.
Nope, just needed 6 people.
Oh. I didn't have a charge. That jerk. Okay. Let's just do it. Okay. All right, we'll be there.
I will wait for you. Make sure you make it past the traps, okay?
Do you watch? Where do you wait for them?
I wait for them. I'd go to the edge of the overlooking the pit trap so I could advise them to get over the pit trap.
Okay.
We still have a anchored rope if need be to help them.
All right, they round the corner there. The high elf explains the traps before them as he's already passed them and opens his arm wide. And the dwarf kind of hicks up his pants. All right, well, I ain't got no shame about it. And he holds his arms up like a small child. And the high elf scoops him up, concentrates for a moment, whispers some magic, and begins to hover, and hovers across, depositing Edgar Boonfellow to the other side, goes back, grabs Norman, and picks him up very much in the same way.
All right, then I would just run ahead. When we get to the spears, I would dash again, wait by the button to help guide them through at that point.
All right, they seem helpful, but skeptical since you're doing all of this with a giant pile of spears in your arms. But they make it down the hall, observe the clicking mechanism on the wall there, and talk a little amongst themselves, and then round the spear trap thanks to your help and find the stairs. And behind you, as they head up the stairs, you can hear them talking in a language you don't quite understand, but one you've heard around enough. They seem to be conversing in Dwarvish, and they seem to be having a bit of fun in whatever they're saying.
But none of us can understand it, right? Nobody speaks Dwarvish.
Grinkeeper speaks Dwarvish, apparently.
Oh. Well, hey.
Hey.
And as they come up, you hear some little bits of the whispered conversation here in the tunnel, Grinkeeper. Mostly they're asking Norman, now what'd you hear about these guys? Where'd you get this information? Who the hell are they?
And in Dwarvish, Grinkeeper will yell back, "We're the darkest delvers! We've told you already! Now come on!"
Yeah, bitch.
As they reach the top of the steps near you all, underneath his beard, underneath his helmet, you can see a blushing dwarf, rather embarrassed that his language has been found out. Yeah. Okay, All right, you're the experts. Fine, fine. Nice job on the buttons. What do you need from us?
All right. Well, what we're going to do is, let's see. Each of you take a spear, and I'll hand out spears. And
All right.
stand on a platform, put it in the middle. Like this, and I will demonstrate on the platform I was on. I'll go back to there.
All right. All right. Well, you heard him, lads. Let's divide up. And they all divide up into their various spots. Splendor Belt,
Yeah.
Edgar Boone Fellow. Let's see. Co. And Norman all put in their spears, and then the platform clinks down. However, the high elf descends from his slight hover, touching down ever so gently in his cloth robes, and Grinkeeper in her tunic stand with their spear in the hole, but it doesn't click.
Grinkeeper will start jumping up and down on her platform.
As she does, it goes click, 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 click.
Oh, it's not clicking. Or it is, but something's not clicking.
Seems like maybe the weight is not enough.
Classic pressure plates. All right, here, there, lady. And he takes off his helmet and puts it on your platform. And then
Cool.
drops his hammer on your platform as well, and it clicks down.
Thank you.
No problem. Oh, you're lightweight. All right, Yana, let's get you set up here. Who's got stuff? I spent my stuff.
Let's see. I don't know. Splendor Belt's got 2 of everything. What have you got? What have you got?
Well, I did, but it's back at the thing. It's piled up somewhere. So if I give him any of that, I have to promise it. It's just back there. My double of everything.
I have 20 pounds of rations.
All right, you take out a massive bag of lunch and put it next to him. Norman goes, I can help as well, and unloads his shield and places on the platform, and it clicks down. Our camera goes outside of the dungeon.
Oh boy.
A view of the Temple of Pelor. The worshipping room, the room of penance, where Splendor Belt has spent several hours, multiple times, being disciplined by sitting on his knees on the cold stone floor. The great mural ahead with the sun shining out, scaring off various demons and monstrous beings on the wall ahead. There are several pews that line the edges of the room, but in the center sits 3 monks on their knees, looking most uncomfortable, but praying to Pelor with all their might.
These are my people. Look at these.
Well, you're not there.
Oh, I'm not there yet. Now forget, camera's gone without me. I'm just
This is
imagining
merely
this.
our faraway camera at the moment.
Right.
There is a great click, click. And the monks look up from their devoted prayers as they are slowly lifted into the air, sliding down the panels as they, whoa, and the pews are pushed up against the walls. The mosaic on the floor breaks into pieces as these 2 large stone slats open up in the middle of the Temple of Pelor. And above you, right where the ceiling was, the stairs continuing, outside, you see the ceiling of the temple where you've spent so much time over the last month and a half.
I just see the temple, like the...
You're inside of it. You apparently broke through the floor of the Temple of Pelor.
Oh, what?
An afternoon sun beams through the windows of the temple, and you hear "Oh!" of the monks being shoved aside.
Okay. I'll be just shocked by this. I won't know what to make of it.
It's pretty bright up there.
It seems we found a bit of a shortcut back to town.
Yeah, it does not make sense. Well, let me ask you this: does it seem obvious to my character that we did that very thing, that we found a shortcut back to town, that we found a way up under the thing, or does this feel magical to me? Like I got there in a way that's not natural.
This seems physical of reality. You guys hiked from the well for some 30 minutes to an hour through winding tunnels, heading mostly east according to your best directions, though of course you were underground, which may have placed you directly underneath the Temple of Palor, and you may have activated the platforms in such a way that the temple that was built atop the ruin has now forced itself through the temple floor, breaking the mosaic there, and here we are.
Okay. Well, then I'll accept it for what it is, and I'll look around for, one of my seniors, basically somebody who I can, explain ourselves to and tell them what's going on or why we're in there, because they're going to be pissed.
Splendor Belt is the first to head up the stairs and looks around at the mess of the discipline and prayer and penance room. And coming around the corner is Brother Maynark.
Oh,
What?
shit.
What? Splendor Belt, what are you doing in the floor?
It's fine. Calm yourself down.
What?
He's fine.
Beautiful room, but ancient floors of devotion.
It looks bad. I know. It's not my fault. I will
Explain
suddenly...
yourself. Explain yourself, Mr. Thunderbelt.
Well,
It is a little bit useful.
okay. We're all there, right? My friends are there. We're all
Oh, yeah.
okay.
You are with the previous room you were in with the platforms and the spears and the entire dungeon that you passed through is still right behind you, and those top of the stairs now lead outside
Okay.
into the Temple of Palor.
Okay. I will say, look, how were we to know this mission would lead here? This was not known to us.
What mission?
Well, I have to eat, see. I can't just hang out here all the time. I have to do jobs. So jobs pay money. I go with friends. We do job. Sometimes job takes us weird places. Today, the weird place happened to be smack dab in middle of temple.
Who else is in there?
Yeah.
These are my friends. This is Grinkeeper. This is Co. We work together for the betterment of mankind, and also for money, for gold.
Grinkeeper comes out in her tunic, wielding the javelin and the shield, right? Alone, otherwise
Yes.
without items.
Oh, and don't forget the other party. Come on up, everyone.
All right. Hiya, Brother Maynark. Boonfellow. What are you doing in my floor? Excuse me, I went a little Scottish there.
That's happening to a lot of us today.
What are you doing in my floor? Why aren't you working with the Temple of Heronius? Why would you... Now, Brother Maynark, it's not... it was this man's idea. And then he points at Yuko.
Oh. It's official guild business.
Guild business, right. The group that fireballed my well earlier today. Guild business.
We are not with them. We cannot support their actions, but we will assume that it was necessary.
You have a dungeon under your floor.
I
Did
guess
you know
so.
that?
No.
We didn't either.
See, it's not anyone's fault. Nobody knew. If you knew, you would have said. We would have, they would be blocked off, whatever. But no one knew.
Is there monsters, Mr. Splunderbelt?
I mean, we were told to expect a monster we never saw.
Yeah, this is true.
Oh, and Grinkeeper will look back at the other group and mouth, "Did you guys secure the back?"
Norman pipes up. We were in the understanding that once the dungeon was cleared, we would report back, as there was nothing to seal.
Wait, nothing to seal? How did you get down here if there is nothing to seal?
The well.
Okay, so you have to secure the well. Obviously, there is a hole somewhere that connects to the well. We have to do the same.
I guess we could haul many rocks in. Oh, this is a most unpleasant quest. Now, Norman. We can do just that, all right? You saw the young lady. She hauled a whole bag of cement all the way down the well, through the tunnels, through the dungeon, for the most part.
Yeah, Splinterbill helped a lot.
And
Yeah, but I could not have done without her. So yes, basically her, a little bit of me.
so, here we are. We can use this new entrance to make our way back to the well, seal that up, and guard this main hole downward.
I agree. We do need to finish our primary mission. I think we should make our way back. We can seal it with the cement. Any place that is narrow, secure the well in that way. And utilize this access as needed.
All right, they have a point. The Devras, they're weird but crafty. All right, Norman, you go back to the guild. You get the bag of cement. We'll wait here. We'll go load up the well hole, seal it up. Not the well itself, the tunnel to the well. And then we'll see what the guild wants to do.
We will do the same. Let's go where the passage is narrow. We can get more out of the cement that way. We will seal it there.
All right, do you guys turn and get to work?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right, you all turn, disperse to your various jobs while Brother Maynarch looks on, going, What? No, where's he
Peace
going?
be with you.
Just make sure no Gricks get out while we're doing this.
Oh, what's a crick? As you all leave. Okay, where do you guys want to seal the well?
I mean, we should seal it just before it enters into the temple, right? So that when they seal their side, there's a little bit of distance there. I don't know if that matters or not.
I think maybe to get more mileage out of the cement, because thicker walls would take longer to get through. Maybe places where the passage is narrow. Although we got to decide our rock friend. Are we sealing him on... We want to go past him. We don't want to seal him between the well and... to where the well is the only direction for him to go.
Right.
Yeah, and definitely before where we saw the rust babies.
Right.
Who are no longer
Yeah.
with us.
Yeah.
Well, they
Yeah.
shouldn't be. They're gross.
Oh, because we can tell him that there's something to mine down here.
That's
Maybe
true.
we can stake a claim.
That's true.
I don't know how that works.
I
It's
don't know
probably
what- yeah.
property of whoever owns the well.
Right.
Some red tape we gotta go through. But
It's always
Cool.
red tape.
So, you guys entered through the well. There was the blocks, but they were already weakened and they were the things that were pushed out. So we pushed past that. We entered the room with the rust babies into the sack of Sturges, and then we went through the duct area where it was only about 3 feet high, and then beyond that was where we found the rock man.
The duct area, I think, is probably the best place to seal. That keeps the rock man on this side. We can have Splendorbelt tell him to, hey, beat feet if you don't want to have to deal with a bunch of people,
Yeah.
That may or may not be nice to you. We can have him taken care of.
Yeah.
And we can seal it there.
Cool. All right. Well, you all set to work. And for the sake of time, as well as there's not any particular danger in this immediate activity, you make your way back through the dungeon, recover your bag of cement, make your way to the thin area of the tunnels, or at least the smallest area of the tunnels, and begin loading it with rocks. As you do, of course, you do pass the small rock elemental that you spoke to earlier. And as he is still quite chummy with you all, he offers to help out. Or at least he offers to give you some rocks while he eats others and helps passing them along.
Okay.
It's fair.
It's fair. That seems fair for a rock man.
As you guys make your way back from your job, it seems that the First Sons Brotherhood has also completed their side of things. And they also managed to secure the rope to the far side. So that rope is now rather entrenched in its current position, your old rope Grinkeeper, but it is now shimmyable from the left to right over the 2 trap doors.
Oh, I would retrieve my sash in this time, I guess I should say.
Okay, would you go back through the tunnel to get it, or would you go above ground?
Yeah, it'd probably be better to get it above ground. Okay, I probably don't have it yet, but I will be making my way to go get it at some point.
Okay. Cool. Well, for this moment then, Norman, Fainal, and Boonfellow all meet you in that cavernous part right after the dungeon, the official Workstone dungeon ends. There is, of course, the tunnels beyond that no one has investigated, but the 6 of you have now sealed your various pathways to the well, and by nature of that, sealed the well from the greater caverns and tunnels.
Right? Scottish again. I'm thinking of Boonfellow is the problem. I just think of the dwarf looking at me, and it just comes out.
Yeah.
I think we have everything done that we need to do.
Yes, we collect money. We take whatever heat we need to for screwing up temple. Although maybe that works itself out. We don't worry about it.
I think it is fair to say that we would not have been able to achieve the last bit without your help. There was not a lot of loot to be obtained, but we do have 2 extra of these, and because there were 8, right, of the spears, we used 6.
Correct.
If your group would like to take 1.
All right, not bad. What is it?
Some sort of spear.
Spear would have the point.
Before we move on, what about this unexplored area?
That is a bit tempting, is it not, lass? Huh?
We were told there was a big monster. Something laid a disgusting sack on the ceiling. And we haven't found that thing, whatever it is.
She likes to fight. She wants to fight things, so...
Yeah.
I am all for checking it out.
Cool. I don't know if those Paylor guys can handle themselves if something were to come up this way.
Oh, I can promise you they would not. They are... well, how you say it? They are puss. They are big puss.
There we are. Down to take a peek before heading back.
All right, let's do it. Armored ones in front, weaker ones in the back. Non-armored ones in the back. No,
Weaker?
I'm sorry.
definitely a better way to say.
I'll work on it.
All right, so we divide up our combined party here with. Now, Splendor Belt's quite armored, but usually takes the back.
Yeah.
So we got Grinkeeper and Boonfellow leading the way. Faynell and Norman in the middle, probably alongside Ko or so. And then Splendor Belt and Faynell take up the back.
Yeah. I like the sound of that.
All right. You all begin exploring down the tunnels. Let's see. I'm just moving your tokens down here. Grinkeeper and Boonfellow taking the lead. Norman, the archer, with shield, hanging out by Ko. All right, you guys round the corner and find yourselves in a large cavernous area. In the center is a small pool of water, about 50 feet long, about 20 feet wide, but pretty shallow. You can see the bottom of it via the drift globe that is lighting your entire party and bouncing around these wet walls of the cavern. You see many different little passageways end and flow through this area, and the tunnel continues in its largest tunnel off to the left. The ceiling is heavy with stalactites. The floor marked here in these dark areas are not holes. Those would be the stalagmites pushing upwards. Very much the most old part of this tunnel and cave system that you've come across. And there's
Oh, sorry.
There's little like water skitters that run across the water, but otherwise it's completely still in this room.
Once we get in, I would increase the drift globe from the light spell to daylight to really illuminate it, because we've dealt with monsters that have hid as stalagmites and stalactites before.
How long does that last?
I think an hour.
Okay. That's great.
Yes, 1 hour.
Cool. Let's go ahead and load you guys into the room a bit here, and you can move yourself where you'd sort of settle as we investigate this room. I'm just moving you all up.
The red dots are, what are they again?
Hanging back by the water over here.
What was that, Scott?
Am I on the right map? I may not be on the right map. Is this one to the right of everything?
Hit you with another link there in the Discord if you need it.
Okay. I thought I had it.
Oh, this would have been the secondary tab you opened earlier.
Oh.
May have been lost to time.
There we go.
Yeah, it looks like you got us there.
Yep. Okay. I will. Token. I'm going to move. This is water in the middle?
Yep, just a pool of water about 3 feet deep.
Just going to move over here to see what I can see. Right here.
Oh, that'd be Grinkeeper you just moved.
Oh, whoops. This is so far from me, I can't see it.
It is. Look,
All
you gotta look
I'll
so
move.
far.
That monitor's way over there. My new one comes tomorrow, so I should be okay. But anyway, I moved it there. And I will be sort of just trying to see if I can see anything.
Cool. If you want to see things beyond your passives, feel free to roll perceptions and other sorts of rolls you might use in this area.
Let's do a perception first.
I got
that'd
a
be
20 for perception.
Oh yeah, I got a 13, 20 for John.
Grinkeeper, did you roll?
Oh no, she watches the companions.
Okay.
She's got a -1, so she'd rather watch the people react and then react to the people.
Cool. So you are standing at the mouth of the following tunnel as it would proceed further in, but otherwise kind of letting people and let the passive perception roll.
Mm-hmm.
Splendorbelt, you don't see anything too much of note, but of course you're cautious about the stalactites and stalagmites given your very first adventure and the warnings from Riley Man Cave so long ago. Ko, looking around, you notice that the ceiling has several eye slots in the stalagmites. These appear to be those same piercers, those weird larvas sitting above you. And a little bit of drool kind of drips out of one of their rocky little mouths.
I will notify everybody and just say, it looks like we have some of those creatures above us. And then I will pull out my bow and take aim and take a shot.
Okay. Let it rip.
For an 8.
So you aim up at the ceiling, it kunks off a rock and bounces over.
So cool till he shot the bow.
Faendal stands next to you. You missed.
Okay, but did you see the arrow shot in the stone earlier that completely negated a trap? That was me.
I did not witness such thing.
Okay, fine.
All right, everyone. How's this? We back out of here. We close up the hole to this. And I think this might be where they're coming from.
One second, Grinkeeper. Do you see this? And he points down the tunnel that you're standing by with your back to it.
Grinkeeper will turn and look.
It's like it's hovering? Why would the rocks be hovering? And you look and you see down the tunnel, there's a normal sort of stone with dirt and bits of debris on it from the rocks and whatnot, a little bit of water. But all these little stones that have just been laying around casually while you've made your way through the tunnel are just about like an inch off the ground ahead of you. And they sort of raise and lower. Just ever so slightly, just a centimeter or so.
I've never seen that before.
This is new to me.
All right, maybe we go.
You mean it's dangerous? We leave?
Faendal, what do you make of this? He casts a spell and sort of rushes magic down his body, taking the place of this beautiful sort of ethereal armor that floats around him. And with that, he begins to float again into the air and floats across the surface of the water and rolls an arcane check. It's not magical, whatever's causing these stones to lift. Norman in the back speaks, probably just ley lines or something. It's all made up anyway.
Oh my gosh.
I like this
He
Norman.
should go and investigate.
Yeah, that
Norman's
guy
the
should go
worst.
He should just be
Grinkeeper
sure.
will, pull out a javelin and kind of start poking the floating rocks.
You take your javelin and you extend it towards the rocks. And as you go to poke it, it's sort of like, it reaches a resistance and then kind of through it.
No.
And then pushes through.
Oh no.
And Boonfella goes, "Oh, good Haronius, it's a gelatinous cube!" And suddenly the whole thing shakes and becomes untransparent. This great blue-green block stands in the doorway and shifts, lumbers forwards. And that's where we'll end for today.
Oh no.
The cube. All right. Well done. That was awesome. We'll leave it there. We'll have a cube staring us down. That'll be how it'll be. And when we come back next time, you'll get to have some resolution on that. So don't stress yourselves out. It's going to be awesome. We'll be back here next week to do that very thing, in fact. And don't forget our new live time, if you haven't caught the show live in a while, is Saturdays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Mountain. That's 4 p.m. Eastern. So come check us out and be here. No offense to the Central people. You know you're 3 p.m. You'll be okay. You'll survive. What else? So don't forget, you can support us over at therewillbedungeons.com. Yes, that's right. Become a Dungeons Plus member today, and you too can help this show continue to survive and thrive. Great many benefits await you over there. You just got to go check it out. That's therewillbedungeons.com. That's going to do it for us, for me, for Kyle, for Kristen, and for John. We'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. Nice. We did it.